What if you got summoned to another world and instantly became unstoppable? Overpowered skills, broken magic, insane luck, and of course a harem that just keeps growing. What's up, anime fans? Today, we're diving into the top 10 Isekai Harem Anime where the main character is ridiculously overpowered, surrounded by stunning companions, and absolutely dominating every world they're thrown into. From god-tier magic to cheat abilities that break the rules, these anime are pure wish fulfillment at its finest. So sit back, power up, and let's jump into another world. Starting right now. 10. I'm evil lord of an intergalactic empire. In his last life, Liam lived as a moral, responsible person, but died deep in debt and betrayed by his wife. Reborn into the ruling family of a vast interstellar empire, Liam knows that life is divided between the downtrodden and the ones who do the stomping. So this time he's going to take what he wants and live for himself. But somehow, things refuse to work out that way. Despite doing his best to become a tyrant, Liam's decisions lead to nothing but peace and prosperity for the empire under his rule. And he just gets more and more popular. 9. How not to summon a demon lord. When it comes to the fantasy MMORPG cross reverie, none can match the power of the Demon King Diablo. Possessing the game's rarest artifacts and an unrivaled player level, he overpowers all foolish enough to confront him. But despite his fearsome reputation, Diablo's true identity is Takuma Sakamoto, a shut-in gamer devoid of any social skills. Defeating hopeless challengers day by day, Takuma cares about nothing else but his virtual life. That is, until a summoning spell suddenly transports him to another world where he has Diablo's appearance. In this new world resembling his favorite game, Takuma is greeted by the two girls who summoned him, Rem Galeu, a petite Pantherian adventurer, and Shara L. Greenwood, a busty elf summoner. They perform an enslavement ritual in an attempt to subjugate him, but the spell backfires and causes them to become his slaves instead. With the situation now becoming more awkward than ever, Takuma decides to accompany the girls in finding a way to unbind their contract while learning to adapt to his new existence as the menacing Demon King. Tenchi Muyo, War on Geminar. Kenshiro Masaki has been kidnapped and brought to the world of Geminar by a mysterious group. To get back home, he agrees to help them assassinate the newly crowned empress of the Shreyu Empire, Lashera Asu XXVIII, using a giant robot called a sacred mechanoid. As her army fights them off, Lashera takes note of Kenshi's abilities and demands that her attacker be captured alive, only to find out that the pilot is male, which is extremely rare on Geminar. Believing it to be a waste to kill him, she makes Kenshiro her attendant. As the Empress' new servant, Kenshiro is required to accompany Lashera to the Holy Land, an academy where sacred mechanoid pilots hone their skills. His arrival attracts attention, but Kenshiro is unaware that something sinister is brewing within the academy, and it could plunge the entire world into war. 7. Familiar of Zero. Louise Françoise Leblanc de la Valliere is a self-absorbed mage in a world of wands, cloaks, and royalty. Although she studies at Tristain Academy, a prestigious school for magicians, she has a major problem. Louise is unable to cast magic properly, earning her the nickname of Louise the Zero from her classmates. When the first-year students are required to perform a summoning ritual, Louise's summoning results in a catastrophic explosion. Everyone deems this to be yet another failure, but when the smoke clears, a boy named Saito Hiraga appears. Now Louise's familiar, Saito is treated as a slave, forced to clean her clothes and eat off the ground. But when an unfamiliar brand is found etched on Sato's hand from the summoning ritual, it is believed to be the mark of a powerful familiar named Gandalfer. Wild, adventurous, and explosive, Zero no Tsukaima follows Saito as he comes to terms with his new life and as Louise proves that there is more to her than her nickname suggests. 6. Trinity 7. One day, the bright red sun stopped shining, causing the breakdown phenomenon, the destruction of Arita Kasuga's town, and the disappearance of the people inhabiting it. All, however, is not yet lost. By utilizing the magical grimoire given to him by his childhood friend and cousin Hijiri Kasuga, Arata's world gets artificially reconstructed. In order to investigate the phenomenon, Lilith Asami appears before Arita, whose artificial world suddenly disintegrates. He is given two choices: hand over the book or die. However, Arita chooses the third option, enrolling in the top-secret magic school Royal Biblia Academy. where 6 other magical users await him. Together with Lilith, these 6 form the Trinity Seven, the elite of the school who each bolster their own power and skill. With the ambition to save Hijiri and the help of his newfound friends, Arata stops at nothing to prevent the destruction of his beloved hometown and to bring his best friend back. 5. Farming life in another world. During the final years of his life, Hiraku Machio remained confined to a hospital bed with a terminal illness until he finally passed away. Taking pity on the unfair life he lived, a god decides to reincarnate Hiraku in another world where he can live as he pleases. Wanting to try farming in this new life, he is bestowed with an all-in-one, almighty farming tool that can transform into any useful implement he wishes. Hiraku is then transported to a forest seemingly far from civilization. Here, he plans to build and farm everything from scratch, gradually developing the lifeless area into a thriving new society. 4. Skeleton Knight in another world. After falling asleep while playing an online game, a man wakes up and finds himself transported to that game's world as his in-game character, Ark. He wastes no time adjusting to his new environment, but soon realizes that he is using the skeleton avatar he chose when creating his character, which forces him to hide his visage to avoid unwanted attention. Ark goes to the nearby castle town of Louviert, hoping to become an adventurer and take on quests to earn money. With his overpowered abilities, Ark embarks on a fantastical journey, exploring diverse territories, looting various monsters, and helping people get out of sticky situations. However, his seemingly innocuous actions may soon involve him in a brewing large-scale conflict that will forever alter the fate of the realm. 3. Tales of Wedding Ring. A decade ago, Princess Crystal Novati Haim no Kanatica traveled from another world to escape assassination attempts by an evil force. When she arrives in modern-day Japan, she encounters Haruto Satu. With him, she shares a promise. He must forget what he has just witnessed, and the two will become friends. Now heading back to the No Kanatica Kingdom to fulfill her royal duties, Haim bids farewell to Haruto. However, when the young man suddenly remembers his first meeting with Haim, he rushes to the location where she first appeared and crosses the dimensional portal to be reunited with her. 2. Tsukumichi Moonlit Fantasy. As part of a mysterious contract agreed upon by a goddess and his parents years ago, Makoto Misumi finds himself sent to another world to meet the goddess and become the hero. However, the deity deems Makoto to be hideous, refusing to even lay eyes upon him and revokes his heroic title, disdainfully giving him the ability to understand all languages except the human language as compensation. The goddess drives Makoto off to the farthest edges of the wasteland, far from human civilization. Due to the disparity between Earth and this new world, Makoto's inherent physical and magical capabilities awaken, making him extremely powerful. He meets various demi-humans and mythical beings who all end up being captivated with his characteristics and join Makoto in building a new community where all of them can peacefully coexist. Nevertheless, despite this success, Makoto still yearns to meet fellow humans. In a world where the goddess herself has barred him from interacting with his kind, it is up to Makoto and his companions to fulfill his desire, and perhaps reform society along the way. 1. Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. One day, high school student Michio Kaga attempts to start a strange online game he found while browsing the internet. Instead, he gets transported to a rural village in the game's world, equipped with special skills and an overpowered sword. After collecting his thoughts, he finds himself battling against bandits and soon realizes that he cannot log out. Resigning himself to fate and accepting this reality, Michio sets out on a journey, enjoying his new life, conquering dungeons to earn money, and building a harem to satisfy all his manly desires. And that wraps up our top 10 Isekai Harem Anime with OP main characters. Which one was your favorite? Did we include your number 1 pick? Or did we miss an anime that deserves a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss more anime rankings, recommendations, and Isekai madness. Until next time, keep grinding, stay overpowered, and I'll see you in the next world.